So today we're going to talk about how to pay for it. The way that we focus on paying for it is through what's called financial aid. So we're going to talk about what financial aid and why it's needed. So financial aid is money that comes from the federal government, your state offers financial aid, your college, and it can also come from private sources. So financial aid is basically money that pays for college. And it's not money that you're paying, but it's money that comes from different sources, whether it's the federal government, the state government, your college or university, or private sources, private individual sources that help you pay college. Now, here's what I want you to know. Everyone does not pay the same price for school. And this is really important because a lot of times everyone thinks that, or sometimes students can think that, the price that's mentioned on the website, the price that I see when you do the research, that sticker price is the price that we have to pay. But I like to use this analogy of buying a ticket or a seat on an airplane. So if you're taking a trip, of course, we're in COVID right now, so not too many flights, but if you were to fly somewhere, you're able to fly somewhere, the price you pay may not be the same as the person across the aisle from you. Each airline has multiple price tiers, and not everyone pays the same exact rate, even in the same section. So, so if you're riding in coach or in the economy class, your price could be and is most likely very different from the person paying next to you. And it works the same way in college, that the price that you pay may or may not be the same price that your roommate pays, that your classmate pays. And your goal is really to pay the lowest price possible. So colleges have what's called the cost of attendance, and sometimes it's called the COA. And the cost of attendance is the cost, what it costs to attend a particular school. So in that, there's tuition that, could be, tuition, tuition, room and board. So that's living on campus if you're not a commuter student, books and supplies, transportation and travel expenses. And then there are other expenses such as maybe a computer. Maybe if you do a study abroad program, there could be expenses related to that as an additional expense. So some of these costs are what are called fixed costs or direct costs. They're paid directly to the school. And then there are some indirect costs, which are variable. They can fluctuate. So your tuition, everyone has the same published tuition rate. And then your room and board, it can be the same if you're in maybe a double or a single or a triple, meaning if you have roommates or you don't have roommates. So of course, if you have roommates, you pay a little bit less than if your school or the school you're looking to attend allows you to have a single. So that's somewhat of a fixed cost, but you can kind of tweak that a bit. Books and supplies, that's a variable cost. So students sometimes rent their textbooks or maybe borrow textbooks or purchase textbooks. Purchasing textbooks are always way more expensive. So that is an indirect cost because you don't pay it to the school, but it is a cost that you incur in order to attend and sit in your classes. And then transportation. Now, again, you don't pay that to the school, but you want to think about what is it going to cost me to go home on breaks or to travel for a weekend if I want to get away for a weekend. So there are transportation costs. Sometimes it's just driving. It could be a train. It could be a bus. It could be an airplane. So you want to think about that. And that goes back into even travel expenses. If you have study abroad, there could be extra expenses. A computer. The school may require a computer. Some schools, very few schools, but some schools do provide either for the major or for the school computers, and it's built into the, if it's necessary for your major, they're building it into the cost of attendance. There's a formula or a number called the EFC, the Expected Family Contribution. And what it is, it's what the federal government says that a family can expect to contribute or expect to pay. Let's really not try to think of debt, really work towards building a list where you can get the most money from the school and then fill in the gap with private scholarships I feel like I can't stress it enough. Really make smart college money choices.